think I have shingles.
Hello, everybody.
Are we on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Hey!
Hey, this episode, we had our buddy Adam Ray on,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun. We talked
Great
about it.
time.
Real quick, though, what are you wearing and why are you wearing it?
Well, first off, and I'm kind of pissed about the shingles thing. We might want to take that out.
Sure.
That's a no. Well, I'm the voice of the Celtics right now, and they sent me a jersey with my name on it, which I don't want to turn around because it might be a little more shingly.
I'm thinking maybe a T-shirt under the jersey next time.
What? Look at that. That looks good.
You look, hey, man, you look so athletic.
All right. By the way, I hate you, and I'm also flirting with you.
So this episode, we had our buddy Adam Ray on.
And that's the other reason I'm wearing the jersey. He's a big sport
He's
fan,
a sports
too.
fan. You guys have that in common. We talked about some really fun stuff. We talked about our first time ever getting the courage up to perform in front of an audience for the first time. We all did it around the same age, which is interesting.
Yeah.
We had stories about confronting our bullies.
Yeah. Big
And-
nostalgic
Yep.
episode.
We named those bullies. We got some interesting names on this episode. Adam, the people that he grew up with, these names,
I mean, the names are insane.
they're
I
made
know.
up.
I know.
He
That was
grew
my
up in
favorite- that
a,
was
he
my
grew up in
favorite
a
part.
book.
He grew up in a Stephen King novel.
He grew up in a
little
Stephen
bit.
King novel. So, yeah.
Sounds like a beautiful childhood, though, a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about, and we sang. We did some singing, I think.
Did
Did
some
we?
singing.
Yeah, we did some singing. We
A
talked
little
about
bit.
singing. We talked about the song that you and I did with him on his album.
Yep, his
Got
album.
it.
Yeah, Adam Ray Songs for the People.
Songs for
Go get
People.
that.
It's coming out.
Yes. Which we will have a song on the end of this from that me and Jason are featured in.
Yep. And we'll
Hey,
link
close,
it.
hey, play close. Play,
Oh,
God damn
cut.
it, cut.
See?
Pay close attention to the falsetto.
I know. You nail it in that.
Yeah, baby.
It really is. Honestly, this episode turns into a complete nostalgia tour of us being bullied.
Oh yeah.
Like that, apparently all of us have been bullied at different points in our life. To be honest with you, Ray brought it on himself in a few instances.
Oh yeah.
The display case.
Yes.
That shit.
Display
Oh, the
case
display-
story, which
That's
is
my
fantastic.
favorite.
You'll learn about what is it called? Kill Hill.
Killer Hill.
Killer Hill.
Yeah.
There's you hear a story about Killer Hill. I feel like when we tell stories like that, though, when you talk about your childhood, I always think, how did we make it?
I know, that's true.
How did we survive past the age of 13?
It is. It's insane. But he's an old friend of ours.
Yep.
So it was a great conversation. And once again, name that album.
Songs for the People.
Songs for the People.
Yeah, get
Adam
that.
Ray.
We'll put a link in the YouTube or something so you
We'll
can get
put
it.
a link, and at the end of this, you'll hear it all the way zip. But
Yeah, perfect.
with me and Jason, and I learned some stuff about you. I learned a lot about Adam, and I revealed some shit about me. And we'll.
This was a very revealing episode.
It was a revealing childhood. So if you've had any trauma in your life or insecurity or any of this shit, hey, guys like this.
Yeah.
They have it too, dude. And then you turn
Look at
into
that.
this.
Look at those.
That is psoriasis.
That looks like dough.
I gotta call
Anyways,
my dog.
enjoy this episode with Adam Ray.
Adam Ray.
I think I'm allergic to the jersey.
We are friends, digging each other, taking time to talk it over.
This is angled.
okay?
You can't see it this time.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I guess.
See, I'm not a headphone. I'm
Do
not
a
a
Rocky
headphone
start.
guy. You're not doing it.
I do it all the time, but I didn't for the last two pods. I stopped doing it for voiceover stuff because I was hearing myself too much.
Yeah.
That I was, and one of the guys who at the agency, if you go and record, they have somebody to record you and direct you, and he was like, "Try without the cans, man. You're listening. You can hear
Yeah.
too much, and you don't." And it made a world of difference.
These are called cans.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't want
I
to
learned.
fucking have to be
That's what
learned
Tony
an industry
Braxton
term.
calls them, and I do whatever she says.
taking it off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's easier.
I like it this way.
Yeah, me too.
You're such
You know?
a follower, dude. You're such
got
a
me there.
follower, dude.
Dude, look at you.
I've hated my ears are
Psycho with the
sweating every
headphones
time
on.
we finish.
Me and Will.
You're
Okay,
right.
two psychos.
Hey,
Boy,
you're
you
right.
Look good. I'll probably put them on halfway through too.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put it on.
Just to not feel that bad.
God.
Peer pressure's a bitch, dude.
Yeah,
and it's
you're
real.
right. I'm no
Yeah.
bitch.
Damn.
Take a
be
lane.
yourself.
You're
man.
right.
Yourself, dude. There it is. That's
Now
the true you.
I want everyone to like me.
Have character, Brent.
Character Brent.
You are kind of.
I'm gonna name my son that.
character.
Character Morin.
That's actually a great name.
That's kind of a funny name. Did we start?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
great.
Adam.
How weird is it to not?
Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the
Adam right
Lions
here.
Den, right?
We're in the Lions Den.
Lions
Next to
Den.
the Panda Room.
Panda
How many
Room.
animal-themed rooms do you have in this house?
I actually really I'm glad you brought that up.
It's been on my mind since I got
Thinking
here.
about kind of like a leopard living room, like things that
Yes.
on a dinosaur.
A dinosaur diner. Well, that's just
Dining
a separate
room.
business idea. A dinosaur diner.
That's
Would you like the
my brain
brontosaurus
stopped.
burger or the stegosaurus salad?
Oh my god!
Sorry, that's all we've got. We forgot that
Those
you're
are
dinosaurs.
two items on the menu.
No,
By
wait,
the
the-
way, could I just say something off that idea? How depressed would the waitresses be at that diner having to say, "So you want the stegosaurus?"
Stegosaurus.
Nobody would be more sad than having to work
Oh
at
my
that.
Wait,
place.
let's keep doing this. What do you do
Yeah.
with the raptor? Do you want the?
Raptor wraps.
Very good.
All right, you're CEO. Jay, who are you gonna be? you
All
gonna
right,
work
let's
there?
talk
You're gonna
about,
be in the
let's
office.
talk about kids menu.
Oh yeah.
Well, because this
All
is the restaurant should be. First of all, how themed are we going with it? Before we hit the kids menu, are the staff dressing up?
Oh, yeah.
In just dinosaur hats, or are they wearing
Some kind
like
of.
Jurassic Park, the safari hats?
I think they should wear the safari hats. But I was
What's a
was
kid's
gonna
menu?
say caveman, but then historically that's incorrect. 'Cause
Yeah.
they weren't around the
Cavemen weren't. Yeah, how far? Who was first, cavemen or dinosaurs?
dinosaurs.
And that's the second time I've asked that today. Dinosaurs were first.
Yeah. And from what I
Prove
could
it.
remember, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm so uneducated.
I'm going on a hunch.
I just
All right, see,
remembered.
by the way, we're all ADD. We just totally got sidetracked by
I know.
cavemen.
I know.
I think it should be the most embarrassing. The host should be wearing like where their heads in between a raptor.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like, welcome to Dinosaur Diner, where we will. Oh, come on, Brent. Come on. There's something.
60
There has to be something you
This
have to
meal
say.
is 65 million years in the making.
Yeah.
Yes,
There you go.
it has to be something you have to say. Or you get in trouble. Like Denise, can I talk to you over here for a second? Did you not do the dinosaur intro to the family?
Oh man, there's always
I'm
gonna be
sorry,
that
I
boss.
forgot it. Was it in the handbook or?
Do it again.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Dino Diner. Or do I say dinosaur? Dino. Can I abbreviate it?
Denise, you were lucky you were friends with
First of
my
all, my
daughter.
name's Jill, and I don't know your daughter.
Who the hell's Denise?
I don't yes and very well, by the way.
Bad yes
Denise
and
is
it.
the cook.
Now, do they have the dress? Can they get the rights to the JP soundtrack? Maybe Jurassic Park 3, right?
Oh, they probably have like some bootleg one. You know what
Of course.
they have?
You
know what's weird?
Yeah.
Like just
I was listening to John Williams in the car on the way here.
boy, fucking bragger.
He
Yeah.
really,
Get it?
I
you
really
drive.
was.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Steven Spielberg John Williams
It's one,
album.
Can I be honest? My first few albums I bought, I loved soundtracks. My neighbor Avery Garmeyer, who I used to call Tick Cardboard because I don't know why he had a
Because you're in a musical from the 40s?
He had an anger
Come on,
problem.
Tick Cardboard.
He had an anger
Oh.
problem, and I
Is
always
this
said
the
he
guy
was
you
like.
used to complain about?
There's a lot of guys he used to complain
okay.
about.
At your place.
Tick. What did you call
Yeah,
him?
Tick Cardboard because he used to put cardboard in his hats to make the bill. Like I guess, do you know about this?
Yeah.
You're a hat guy. Like he put cardboard in the front to keep the bill so it wouldn't get.
No.
Like,
you put cardboard
in the back.
here.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
there it
keeps
is.
It's structured.
Totally.
tall.
Jay gets
So
the
he always
hack
did that.
game. I fuck the hack
in
game.
sixth grade. So I was always like, "You fucking weirdo, you cardboard." And then he was always so. Him and I, we were neighbors, so we'd fight all the time. We got in a 45-minute cage match in his little foyer in his front door because
cage
he was
in his
beat-
foyer?
It was,
Wow.
dude, worst opening to a porn ever. He's got a cage in his foyer, dude. Just put it in my ass. Wait, so okay, wait, but so we're playing checkers, and he was just kicking my ass, and so finally I just went. I just took one piece and went. I go, king me, and then I flipped the board, and I go, I'll see you tomorrow at school. He tackles me down the stairs.
Wow.
And we fucking wrestle, fight in the little foyer, and there's two. I don't know if you can see them. Scratches, scars on
Okay.
my hand.
Put it to that camera and see.
Where's my scratch
What, did he
scar
bite?
hand
Did he
cam?
bite you?
Yeah,
No,
we'll
he
zoom in
fucking-
on that.
I call him
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger
That's some
sometimes
scratch.
too because
How many
he
nicknames
had
did you give this poor
like
kid?
60, and so he scraped me, and then I was like, "Tick." I said something about Tick Cardboard, and he hated it. It was like his button
Where did the tick come from? I get
because
the
I said he
cardboard.
was just like because
Oh,
he
'cause
always
he
he
had
had an
ticks.
anger problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
ticks
he's got a
have
tick.
Ticky. Hey,
There it is.
Hey, Ticky the tiger.
Ticky the Tiger,
See, because we
Bullied.
always call Jason Smooth Bully, don't we, Will?
Smooth Bully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they call me a smooth boy.
Because he'll
Aren't
just get
guys
you
the
right
best
away.
with nicknames?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Smooth Bully. He'll just get you like, oh, God, I don't even know. You'll see. He'll do it through the podcast. And it'll just be under his breath, and it'll be so perfect, and it'll cut you. And you go, man, that really nailed it right away, didn't it?
I'm not a bully, man.
No,
You're
no,
not.
it's Smooth Bully.
Smooth
A
Bully.
bully
Smooth- you
is
can be
tick,
intimidating.
Tick Cardboard.
Tick Cardboard is
Tick
a fucking
Cardboard
menace.
is somebody you got to go, Jesus. It's like he sits in the back of the
Cardboard.
bus.
What an impressive
Everybody
nickname.
else kind of
Yeah.
earns it.
Yeah. Well, dude,
Smooth bully.
my nickname for a minute was, dude, this is so embarrassing. So at my peak fat kidness, right? I mean, just straight up fat. That works. You could just
Yeah.
say, hey,
Fatty.
yeah, fat, you know, penis and tits kid, whatever, you know. Like that. I mean, you could just because I was fat, you know what? I would have appreciated that. It was
Yeah.
more clever than what one kid called me in kickball as I'm rounding the bases. And it was like, dude, it was so bad. It was like I was wearing a shirt that I liked, but it definitely didn't fit. And
Oh, that's the worst.
and there's this kid, Jesse Davis, who I used to call tight pants, and because he wore tight ass sweatpants. I
Easy
think he was
nickname.
poor, so
Tight
looking back, I feel bad. Yeah. He always had sweatpants. He's
So
fine now.
tight. They were
But
hand-me-downs, obviously.
I truly just, I was like, dude, just tight pants, and he would lose his fucking mind. He'd go full tick cardboard based on the tight pants call. So then I'm rounding the bases, and I tripped. And it was just like a fat kid tripping and face first into second base. Got tagged out. I think I crawled to second base like it was the last pizza slice, you know. And he comes over with the ball and he and tagged me out, and then said real loud, like, as I was like, you know, fucking, you know, trucking back to the not the dugout. We don't have a dugout in elementary school recess, but for kickball, but the sidelines. And he called me Jello Jiggler.
oh man,
Doesn't that make you want to
Yeah.
cry and laugh at the same time?
Jello Jiggler.
that's
And
great.
Jello was like popular.
That was
no,
popular.
It was, yeah, no, it was. But
Jello
Jiggler,
Jiggler. Is that
Oh,
alliteration?
man.
Isn't that alliteration? Is that what that is?
it stung, dude.
No, what alliteration is? I barely got
Isn't
out of
that
high school.
alliteration?
Alliteration?
Yeah.
Are you saying
Oh, God.
alliteration
No.
or alliteration?
Like alliteration, like isn't that like a alliteration? Oh
You're-
boy,
you've just asked the same thing 3
edit,
times.
Edit. I'm just saying, there's
Well, every
something
time
when-
you say edit, that should be a returning theme.
Yep.
You don't edit it out though, but it's something that you're like, take it
that's-
out, and
yeah,
it never goes
never.
out.
We've had that already.
Okay,
Nothing's
great.
gone out. But no, something about Jello Jiggler hits hard. Like there was a kid that like we used to. We both had the biggest heads in school. But what I found, because I would get made fun of because my head was this size, like I had to go to specialists when I was a kid. Dude, I was like Stewie, man.
Yeah.
Like my mom thought, you know, I was like, something was wrong with me. I had a swollen head.
At first, I think it's like you're like, he's got a lot of brain in there, right? But then
no,
they're like,
but then
oh,
the
there's
thing
something
is,
up. He's
I
sweating
never
a lot.
cried. I never cried.
Oh, you were creepy.
And yeah, they just thought I was.
just a
they
big
thought I was
head, no
special.
tears
They
kid.
thought
Never
I was
blinked.
special.
Hey,
and
never blinked. Just
it's like Mr. Holland-Opus kid when they had the parade and like
And he couldn't
they
hear
hit
anything.
the horns. He couldn't hear anything.
And that slow zoom in
Yeah.
on the mom.
Oh,
Who's that mom?
see?
She works
I
all
knew
the
you knew
time.
the movie.
And she was just like,
Yeah, it's
and all of
like,
a sudden the kid's just like,
That
the
was
fucking
me.
praise, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
like, I don't know shit. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't talk. He was a baby. But the mom, they zoomed in on her face. It was so sad. But so
Sweating
you
so
had
much.
his head.
So I had a huge head, and to the point that when
They
I
called
was
you
in-
Opus.
Well, when I was in my mom's womb, as my mother says, they would go to doctors to see
Most
if
people say
to
that.
see if I died because I wouldn't kick or anything. I wouldn't do anything. My parents were in their 40s when they had me. By the way, keep in mind, their doctors said they couldn't have kids. Ended up having me
That's
and then
awesome.
my little brother after. But so she's
That's
thinking, I'm
awesome.
older. This is my kid's not making any noise. But really, I was in there just doing this.
oh my god.
Just chilling. And then when I was born,
Is that-
I wouldn't cry, so they would check on me.
It's
in
like
the
your
crib.
mom got abducted and was gonna have an alien.
Let's go with
Abducted?
abducted. Cut, take
Abducted.
two.
Abducted.
Jay, the line is your mom got abducted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So then I would go into when I was in the crib. My parents said that they would get up because a kid's supposed to cry in your sleep trainer or whatever, and they would be like, he's not crying. So my dad said he would go put like his hand by my mouth because I would just be
Would
And
you
then-
really have your hands
yeah,
folded?
and then I would do this, and then what would happen is I would just open my eyes, go, and I go back to bed. They're like,
Ooh.
oh, he's just quiet.
You just
But the head was so big, and so I couldn't be in a high chair, I'd tip and stuff.
Yeah.
So
my
well.
god.
So
I think
what
I had a bigger
happened is, then I go to elementary school. I'm looking like a Swedish Chucky doll. My mom's dressing me, whisker hair, strawberry blonde, by the way, and just killing it, loving me. But then big head, and I'm like big head,
they called you
and then I
big
start
head?
going, oh man, yeah, because it goes back like it's like ET,
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
So what I found out though is if I make fun of myself, they can't make fun of me. Luckily, there was another kid named Alan in my school who also had a giant ass head. Became one of my best friends in high school.
Oh yeah.
You guys bonded over the size of your noggins
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say.
sure.
No,
right?
what happened is
Big
we
heads.
bonded over being made fun of for our heads, but what I did is make
What you just
fun of
said.
my.
Yeah.
No, what? Say that again. Say that
So
again.
we also would have accepted yes. Yeah.
Say exactly what you said.
So you guys bonded over the size of your noggins.
No. What happened is we bonded over the size of our noggins. And what I found out though is if I make fun of myself, they can't make fun of me. luckily, there was another kid named Alan in my school who also had a giant ass head. Became one of my best friends in high school.
Oh yeah.
You guys bonded over the size of your noggins
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say.
sure.
No,
right?
what happened is
Big
we
heads.
bonded over being made fun of for our heads, but what I did is make
What you just
fun of
said.
my.
Yeah.
No, what? Say that again. Say that
So
again.
we also would have accepted yes. Yeah.
Say exactly what you said.
So you guys bonded over the size of your noggins.
No. What happened is we bonded over the size of our noggins. and, but what?
Yeah.
And
By the way,
animated,
that's what we like to call a long walk to the bus stop. How long it took me to get to that fucking bit.
a long walk to the bus.
Oh, I
stop.
thought you were talking about because of the
Dude, remember the
weight.
bus?
I'm trying to make shit up. People
Where'd you
always
sit on the
say-
bus, by the way?
I was in the back, but
Yeah.
but I had to earn it.
Yeah.
I had
You ever
to
take
earn
the
it.
emergency exit?
Yep. You
I
mean when
op-
you open it and go?
Dude, I
Oh,
opened
yeah.
it once. The
Oh, yeah.
alarm went off. Fucking so scary. One time, I remember Dwight Angle, right?
Great name.
Great name.
You got great
Dwight
names in your
Angle?
school.
Great name, dude.
Dwight Angle, did he play for the Reds?
Improv stuff. But he
Hilarious.
he was running.
Yes,
he
and,
was
yes,
running for president in high school.
Oh.
In high school, not like Ben Glebe. And he wrote. Shout out to Ben, dude. It's amazing that you did that. But he signed his name. Yet on the on a form, you had to on the code of conduct for the student. I was running for vice president. We were like, oh, he'll be president, whatever. And nobody ran against me, so I just got it. And I still gave like a speech at the assembly.
Yeah,
but it
it's
was
the
so
best.
short. I was just like, well, no one's running, so I guess I got this in the bag. You
Nice,
know?
nice.
And then I said bag like that, and they loved it. And no, but so Dwight had to sign. Dwight Angle, his name on the, like, do you agree to the things you have to do as student body president, all that? And he was very much like, fight the system, fight the myth, like, just did things his own way, didn't like authority. So he signed don't agree, but made it look like his signature, but it also didn't look at all like his signature.
Yeah.
So the head of the ASB was like, does that say don't agree? And he's like, I don't know, does it?
Whoa.
Just lie, you dum-dum. So now she's like, well, you're definitely not running now, and you're out of
Wow.
the fucking race. So we got a president named
can see
Jeremiah
where-
Fulford Foster.
Dwight
Wait a
Angle.
minute. What was that name? Is he an author from the 30s?
No, he was
Nice.
a right tackle
You and
for
your
the Shortgrass
references.
Scots.
Wait.
He was a
what-
football player. Then he worked at Hollywood Video, and now he runs
he's killing it.
Costco and
Oh,
on
he's killing
Ballinger Way.
killing the game. What was his name?
Jeremiah Fulford Foster. Say that 10 times
Jeremiah
fast, and he'll
Fulford
show
Foster.
up.
Jeremiah Fulford
Oh,
Foster.
yeah, don't, because I don't want him to show up. Because I just made fun of him.
Oh, no.
Fuck you say about Costco?
That's why you don't want a human to appear out of nowhere. But so,
Like
but,
Bloody Mary.
but Dwight, he, God, there was another point to that. What were we talking about?
Running.
Oh, running the bus.
Yeah.
One day, the bus on this route, there was we would go up Killer Hill. It was called Killer Hill because it's a real steep hill, and one kid went down it on a skateboard once, all the way down the hill, and didn't stop at the bottom because there was a four-way stop, and went straight through. What do you think happened to him?
He made it.
What's that?
got
Yeah,
hit.
no,
Hit
no, he
by-
definitely got hit by a car,
by a
and
car,
that was that. So the
Wow.
the hill was
Like done? Like-
yeah.
Oh, my
Dead.
God.
So the hill was called Killer Hill, which is like, hey man, maybe name it after the kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like
give the
Ethan
kid
Hill,
some
you know?
credit.
Ethan
He
Hill.
played for the Reds, but so bringing it back.
Nice.
But so
There we
Dwight,
go.
the bus would turn. So basically, think about turning left from a cul-de-sac, and then going down a hill, and then so we're going down this way, and then around this way was where Dwight would come from to chase the bus. So we're turning around, and all of a sudden you just see him, and he had a goofy run and a rat tail and his bag, and he was just like doing this, and he turns the corner right as the bus takes off. And we're yelling at the bus driver, we're like, Dwight's chasing the bus.
Oh,
and one
yeah.
kid was kind of a bully, Jess Lacasse. And
Oh, what another name.
dude told us his dad invented Little Caesars in the 4th grade. You have no reason to not believe
Yeah,
that.
Why
right?
wouldn't you? That's such a
Who's
great
fact
lie.
checking Little Caesars
Yeah, yeah.
investors?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's such a good lie.
So we were just like, dude, you get free pizzas? Like, I get whatever I want, you know? And
that kid
pizza
had a
bitches,
horrible
you got
home.
it. Yeah. So Dwight turns, and Jess is like, hey, everybody shut up. And we're like, dude, it's going to be. He's like, no, nobody. And he would always do this. Remember this move?
Oh, yeah, the flinch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would always get me.
So Dwight chased the bus, and like the next stop, you know how sometimes you're in a stop, it's like one, and then maybe 50 feet, there's another stop for some reason, which is like, dude, just combine them.
Yeah.
Like, and so the next one was all the way down the hill. So Dwight ran like most of the way and didn't make it. And
Really?
to see a kid, I mean, dude, I can't think of a sadder moment to see a kid chase a bus, full on sprint, and then the point where he just goes, I'm not gonna make it, and stops and like dropped his backpack and just put his hands on his thing and looked down, and Jess was like, yeah, and I was like, dude, you asshole, and this is why you support Trump. He does now, so it all comes full circle. But anyway,
And he got kicked out of the election.
Have you
That poor
ever
kid.
have you ever chased the bus? I had to do that a lot.
No.
And the thing is once the kids knew, they never want to tell the bus driver.
no.
And I was so I remember I would never chase. I would go like a little bit and then act like I didn't want to make the bus. So I would go like,
Whoa.
but really it's like I'm in so much trouble.
We didn't take the school bus when I was.
What'd you have?
We just took the city bus. A lot of us
Oh,
took
see,
the city
that's
bus.
Way
right.
cooler.
Long
Yeah.
Beach, we were suburban.
And then
kids. Killing it.
I always lived near the school that I went to, so we'd either
stomach just
walk
growled.
or
That's ideal.
ride our bike.
Did you hear that? Yeah, my stomach just growled.
That's the best.
Did you hear it on the thing?
Yeah.
Drilling outside.
I actually like the headphones now.
Yeah,
Your voice,
see,
I like your voice.
Oh, thanks, man.
You have a great voice.
Thanks,
I
man.
hear it all the time
Where?
on the television.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
selling your sonatas.
Yeah, is that a trip? Like
Yeah.
just watching shit and your voice will just come up. Have you had that happen?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
It's
It's
a great question. Actually, yeah,
is great,
Will. It's
Will.
great
Yeah.
when it happens to me.
the first time it was.
Yeah, that's gotta
Boy,
be
speaking
awesome.
of VO,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say.
dude.
That was amazing.
No, that was my first time. I almost called you to see
You
how
should
to do
have,
it.
but you didn't need
So I'm
any
gonna
help.
do it
You
again.
crushed it.
Yeah.
It's a trip when I'm watching, and I recognize so many of our friends.
Oh, I know,
Like
man.
I've been here at Tiffany Haddish a lot.
Well, where I
I've
mean,
been
on
here,
everything,
she's
dude.
on
But like
Groupon
voice
and
stuff, yeah, all that.
Snapchat and Jamba
then
Juice.
you obviously like, okay, I get it. It's Adam. But then
Well, I
it
do a little bit better than that. But yeah, it's,
Here's a Honda.
there it is.
How does it?
It's
how
a
does-
Hyundai. Yeah,
Hyundai.
it's not a Honda.
Not
But
a
I
Hyundai.
don't say my name.
Don't
I
get
think you said I
upset.
said my
Don't
name.
get
Hey, what's up? It's Adam.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely.
I
yeah.
actually have a question.
Skylar,
I have a question.
Skylar Stone. I
Skylar's
hear.
a lot of
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Lot.
Crushes it. I can't.
Really?
Every time I go up and I'm reading it, I'm just like, dude, just give it to Skylar. I know he's gonna get
Wow.
it. And Taco Bell too. It's like they always. It's either like this guy, like the new Gordita Crunch, you know, or it's like Taco Bell's new fucking double. You know, they don't say that, but it's like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
double
they might as
cheesy
well.
chalupa right now. It's Taco
Fucking
Bell.
late at night.
Yeah, dude. But Skylar's got that. You know, his voice is just.
Well, let me
primed
ask
for
you this
tacos.
question then. By the way, we talked about this. I got to stop saying. Let me ask you this question.
Please,
We're
you
working
don't
on
have
my
to.
podcast skills.
You guys are great.
So I noticed
You are.
too,
Big fan.
since we're doing a lot of flashbacks today.
Yeah.
I have a higher register voice.
Yeah?
I know, and I remember when everybody's voices were changing.
Can you turn my headphones down, please?
Yikes.
Smooth bully.
So
So,
Smooth Bully. By the way, if Keith Sweat had a track called Smooth Bully,
Oh, it'd be a huge.
well, you should write that track. Talk about the white Keith Sweat.
That's not how Keith says it. Smooth bowling. I mean, I don't know.
Get out of my way.
Nice. Oh, you too. All right, I'll leave. You too. I mean, like proud dad.
Yeah.
Who just like but he's like going through some medical shit. He can't tell his family, so he can't join. He just goes, you too. You know.
Wait, so
It's fun.
so the dad
I'm gonna-
came. The dad came into the room to tell him some medical shit. Saw
Yeah,
them bonding over a fun song, and was just like, "You guys, I'll tell you later." Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. What
tell
was
you
that? We got midnight
not
mass
important.
tonight.
It's not important. Whenever Dad says, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Whenever we say it's not important.
I know.
So
Dads never
important.
want to tell you the
It's so
problem.
important.
So
Yeah.
important.
So when did your voice like
Drop.
change?
Change.
Yeah, drop.
Well, I look back. I thought so. I played Danny Zuko in Greece my sophomore year of high school, right? And I quit
Oh,
football
whoa.
to play that, which is when I knew I was like, oh, I think acting
Yeah.
or just performing is because the plays were a big deal in our high school, and you go to them.
And you
for
grew up in
Seattle,
Seattle.
like Lake Forest Park, Washington,
Because
right?
Fahim Anwar, another comic
Yep.
too. I remember seeing footage of one of his high school plays. It looked like a fucking production on Broadway. It was
Yeah.
like they
There's
like,
a lot
put
of good
a lot of money
totally
into these
a
plays.
lot of good theater schools in the Northwest, and this one was great. And so to even be in the shows, because we'd take field trips as kids to the shows.
Yeah.
And you meet all the actors would go out after in their costumes, and it was such a big deal. So then to go to school there and get in a show, and then this was a chance to have a lead, and the director, this guy Brad Reed, who I had a smaller part in Nancy Drew and that was my first show, but I was able to do freshman football and that at the same time because
Yeah.
you go to practice. So they would let me out of practice sometimes to go to rehearsal. I was like the villain who like dressed up as a woman to like try to trick Nancy Drew out of her Fruity Pebbles. I don't know fucking
Yeah.
what the story was, but it
What a nosy bitch she
I don't
is.
remember
huh?
that.
totally, dude, totally.
Nancy, just go to
How
school.
many mysteries you need to solve?
Yeah.
Fucking.
Right.
She'd
How
be
she-
horrible to marry.
Was she in high school? Was that character? I never read the book.
Can you
Just
imagine her
assume, I don't know.
at a social gathering where she's like, I solved this mystery, and you're like, dude, that's unbelievable. And you think,
Where
that's
were
the-
you?
But yeah, hilarious. And that's the end of the conversation. And she goes, and then this other mystery I solved, and you're like, Jesus Christ,
Christ,
fucking
Nancy.
Nancy won't shut the fuck up about her cases. voices.
on, Nancy.
But so
Is Nancy gonna be there? Honey, you're going to dinner. It's all about her mysteries and her solving mysteries. And
they're not even that big of mysteries.
you know, this is why she's been divorced 4 times.
This
I talked to you about not saying. I'm just saying this. She's
got a thing.
She's a nosy one.
One of her mysteries was finding out that Michelle Tanner was played by 2 people, and it's like we knew that.
What is? Is this a TV show or what?
Nancy Drew. I just remember it was a little girl with like a
Yeah, it's
Like a
Right,
magnifying
right,
glass.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
But on television, because I remember as a kid, it was a book. It was like a
It
series.
was a book.
Of
I don't know
books.
if it ever made it to the silver screen, but
I
it made
think
it
it
to
just did.
Seattle's
It did with
stage.
the redhead with the redhead from It, and they have a CW show.
Yeah, I just
know that
looked it
'cause
up.
I was
and
supposed to
they just
audition
said
for
that,
it.
And
Yeah, I just looked it up. There's like a new TV show coming
So
out.
there's
yeah.
no way that she's not the worst. You know, when she gets older,
worst.
She'd have to be the worst person to date.
The
Where were
worst.
you? I know. What you know?
So your voice dropped.
so my voice dropped, and the director called me. He's like, "Hey, we're doing Grease. I'm going to tell you, have you the part, but I think you'd be a great Danny Zuko. I know you're doing football. I hope you can audition." And you know, my
big
coach
role.
was my coach, and to have a lead at that show, and again, like you put it up on this pedestal. But I was, you know, lifting all the time. The offensive lineman who was a senior above me got injured, so the coach was like, "You're going to start varsity," and I was sophomore captain. And I was getting pretty big, and I was like, football wasn't going to play pro. It was like, oh, fun to do in high
Yeah.
school, and a lot of buddies in it, all that the athletic camaraderie that you get
It's
from
the
it.
best.
So that's why I did it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to play pro football. And so I went into his office one day during summer weight training, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about trying to make it a joke. I was like, thinking about not playing this year and doing Grease, and the show. And he's like, the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'll see you tomorrow. I left, and then my mom's like, did you tell him? And every day I would come back, mom was like, did you tell him? And I was like, no. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, well, if I play football, I feel like I'll be playing for him. If I do the play, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, there's your answer. Don't live your life to please other people. And I was like,
Yeah.
God, you're a great single mom. Fuck that, you know.
It's awesome.
And we didn't need him anyway. All I needed was one perspective, you know. And I didn't say that. She bought me condoms when I was 10, but she magnums. But she believed in me. But no, and so
fire.
so I go back into his office like 2 weeks later, and I was like, I try to make a joke. I was like, I'm not going to be able to memorize the playbook this year because got to memorize the lyrics to Grease Lightning. And there's just a pause, and he goes, get the fuck out of my office. And I go, all right, good talk, coach, appreciate it. And just walk out. It was like a long hallway, and that was it. And then he
It's
came.
a long hallway. I love
Oh,
that's
it-
what you remember.
It was so dramatic.
Yeah.
Because the walk to it, I was like, God, this is like out of
Yeah.
a fucking TV show.
No, it won't stop.
Yeah. And then he came to the matinee with his kids, and I'm like out there in the lobby with all the makeup and leather jacket, and he was just like, it didn't suck. And I was like,
Oh, that's the best you can get from him.
thanks, man. You know.
Kind of a seal of approval.
Totally.
That's great.
Yeah.
But it was, and the other kid that was auditioning against me, it was crazy. Sometimes the plays, there were, you know, the people you have in the school to go out for a certain role. There was maybe one other kid that was trying, but he had like blonde hair, and it was not going to work, and he didn't really have pipes, and I could sing well enough, you know.
Yeah.
But the other kid was Danny Park, who was a Korean dude who had a great voice. I think he wasn't out yet, but he was definitely gay, and not that should have stopped him from being Danny Zuko.
No.
You know, we don't know. Fucking Zuko could have been. Look at Travolta. You
Yeah.
know? And we can edit that out. Whoops. No, I had acting class with his niece once. Let's take that out. But so.
Mark it. He's
Yeah,
not kidding.
no, you can leave it in. But
All right, leave it in.
He's not going to be on the podcast. But so
Not anymore.
So then the show happened, and I almost dropped. There was like the third show of the whole run. I remember like my voice was. It was in that weird stage where it's kind of higher, but it's kind of
Yeah.
It you know what I'm saying? I can't really like put my finger on it, but it doesn't sound right.
This was high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Devin Swaha when he was like starting.
Totally.
You know,
Is
hit
it
his
Swaha?
teen years. Sawa.
Sawa.
Is it Sawa?
Yeah.
It's my dyslexia.
I like Swahwa.
I don't even know who that is. What do you guys?
That was our like
the lead of
generation's
Little
like
Giants?
Tiger Beat guys.
Tiger
Okay.
Beat. Remember Tiger Beat?
And his voice started cracking in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
know
that
what
so
you're
that happened, and I don't think it truly dropped though until like college. I mean, I don't even. I mean, this deep. It's probably college or maybe even.
Wow.
It's also once I started smoking pot and drinking tequila, I'm sure that contributed
That helped.
to. Yeah.
talking about. Man, that hasn't helped me.
And now you could
So
write
that
that
has-
off. It's a write-off. The tequila.
Tequila?
And the pot. You just write
Oh, so funny, dude. Such a
Nice.
supportive
I like
dude,
that.
dad detective.
Dad detective right there. When'd your voice change?
It's been like this since
You
I
got
was
that
probably
sexy voice. Though. He's got sexy voice.
15.
It's great, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just listening to my album came out today. Songs for the
Oh
People.
yeah, we got to
And,
promote that.
It's
Yeah.
songs for people.
Songs for the People.
The people.
Yeah, and and I was just listening to it in the car, just because I've been listening to it so much on like laptops in the studio and stuff. But I was like, oh, now it's done and all finished. And man, like you guys all the way zip, dude. And the kid who made a promo for me today, he's like, this is my new favorite song. He's like, this is unreal. And dude, it's probably the one I've listened to the most. And but you guys fucking crush it, dude. And all your oohs in the background, Jay, and then your harmonies. I mean,
it's cool how that worked out too, because you guys were gonna work that day together, and I was just hanging out with him. And Brent goes, "Just come with me to this thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come."
I don't think I even knew you sang at that point. I think you were like, Jay's got a pipe, and you hop in the booth.
Yeah.
And then you got on 2 tracks, man. Super fucking awesome. Chill, too.
By the way, Will, mark this down if you don't mind. Let's close. When the episode's over, we'll close. All the way
track?
Zip will play.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Let's do that. Let's do All the way Zip to close the track.
Yeah, dude.
Explain what that song's about.
Dude, so Santino and I were writing on Punk'd for a beat, and this was when Bieber was going to host Punk'd, and then for MTV. It was like the first reboot. Now they're doing it on Quibi again too, but Bieber was going to host it at the height of Biebs, and it was a big deal. And so I was like, oh man, it was my first like kind of real gig. And Santino and I were just in an office by ourselves for fucking 15 hours, just big whiteboard, like writing stuff, just coming up with pranks. And we'd get outside, take a walk, come up with more ideas. You have all the celebrities you're going to fuck with, and then you just try to just just throwing everything at the wall. And so through that, we're, just always goofing around too and making each other laugh and coming up with weird songs. And we came up with that one about maybe he or I was zipping up a jacket, and I was like, and he pulled up to here, and I was like, you're not gonna go all the way zip? And he was like, he's like, no. And then he just started singing a little thing, and then I started singing it, and then we took a walk, and we started like singing just the chorus. And I was like, dude, that's a great song. And like you guys, like always trying to, coming up with songs and just trying to, find creative outlets for anything. And so then I went home and kind of like wrote it out. And then I had this buddy that had that studio, and I was like, can I come lay that down? And then another friend from SC who now composes, music for documentaries is the one who put that track together.
That's so cool.
And I was like, I'm feeling like it's a definite like 90s recess after school, which is what it sounds like,
No, it's great. You're always so good at that too, being pro. Like there's so many ideas I think about just from being at a diner with comics, like just a bunch of us funny.
Oh yeah.
Literally just a bunch of funny people sitting around. You have something or something hits, and then you're like, man, that was hilarious, that whole bit or that little thing you did, and then a lot of times it's gone. And then the next
somebody
day
comes over, would you like the Raptor rap still, sir? Or is that...
I'm so lazy about that. I'm very lazy about that. Like,
I don't think
I come up with an idea and I go,
you don't put it in your phone
I'm so cocky that I think I'm just gonna remember the whole thing.
Actually, joking aside, I was gonna say I don't think it's laziness. I think like when it just is sparked in your head and it happens, because I have some similarities to you on this. I did this a lot with D'Elia when we were doing Undateable. There'd be things he would do in rehearsal just when we're fucking around.
Yeah.
And I would say to him, like, on shoot day, like, do that thing with this. And he goes, what thing?
Right.
And he would just forget it. Like, he didn't remember that he just did this thing that was awesome. Or an old bit or something. And you do that, too.
I do that, too. Thank God for my brother, David. He remembers.
Yeah.
For real?
And he reminded me of this bit that I used to do. And I started doing it again, and I'm,
how fun is that?
You get better,
you're just better, so you like the bits better.
Like now I like the bit even more.
So I don't think it's laziness. I think it's just sometimes it's just a bunch of shit comes out, and then you're just like, then there's people like me and Adam who just will be like writing shit down.
It's also easier said than done to actually come up with something,
right?
And follow
Especially
through
all
with
the way
it, dude.
Zip to have to like do the song, get the
Dude,
composer,
it's because it also
studio.
there's a part of you that just convinces yourself that's such a stupid song. Like, who the fuck wants to hear that? What am I gonna do with it? Record it and then have it, because that's what happened. I would do a few songs like that. And even the Home for the Holidays one that we have, which is
I was actually gonna ask you for that because I want to post that for.
It's
the
so good.
time.
So we came up with this great idea for a musical.
Still in the works.
Oh, it's still.
I swear to God, I'm gonna try to get this damn.
No, we
thing
will
made.
put pen to paper on it. But so I was like, oh, we should have at least like an opening track, a song to show along with the pitch. And so wrote this song, and then comes in and we fucking just crushed it. And then I was like, it was so good that I wanted my buddy to animate it. And then I was like, maybe we can use that in the pitch too, because maybe
be great.
there can be an animation part of the film, whatever. But yeah, even just so having like all these loose songs by themselves, and then I was like, and I'd go on Corolla and play some of them sometimes. And I wrote a few for his show, and people would be like, "Oh, where can I get that?" And I was like, It's not my laptop. So unless
Oh,
you
wow.
steal my laptop
Yeah,
or
see, that's
fucking
another
kill
thing.
me, And so then that's what that was a dark turn.
It would also be the weirdest. It'd be the weirdest.
Kill me
thing
for
if-
a track on
if
my
you,
laptop.
If you died
For
somehow,
such an obscure
like,
track.
Yeah. If you choked on like a fucking Velveeta microwave meal or something, I don't know. I'm just thinking
A
of
block
the,
of Velveeta?
I'm just
That might
thinking
happen.
the weirdest way to die, where detectives come in, they go, "What is up with this guy?" They look around, they see they see the movie
Puppets,
posters
yeah.
and puppets, and then they go to his laptop and it's all the ways. And they go, "Well, this guy died silly."
Silly. Oh, that's how I do it.
Call the dad detective.
Oh my
Your
god.
dad detective, come in here. How did this guy die?
What's the other one that I did with you? What was
Super fucking chill.
Super fucking chill.
That one's real good, and that's on
God,
there
that was
too.
what 2 years? How long
know,
was that?
man.
We did that?
25 years ago. dude.
Wow,
No.
we look great.
You look great.
Shockingly, haven't aged that bad.
Thanks, man.
Oh hell, what are we at, Will? I'm hot as shit.
We're
in this
good.
one.
Are
No,
you?
we're like a half
30
hour
minutes.
Half
we're
hour.
What do you guys do? An hour?
Yeah, we do an hour.
Yeah, good.
Or however long it takes.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
I just said, let
Okay, that's
me ask
Adam
you
Ray
this question.
Comedy on Twitter. Does anyone still use that?
Can I? So you weren't when I was in high school. I remember I had a similar thing happened where I was a senior, and it was finally the year that I was going to be like the pitcher. This was my year. I'm going to be the starting
That's
one
right.
pitcher.
You got to be in a baseball movie at some point.
I fucking love it.
Get
man.
Dennis Quaid to do the rookie too.
I try.
I want to see Brent throw out the first pitch at a major league game.
That'll happen.
And
I know,
fuck it up.
I actually get nervous about it. I did it at a minor league game, and that's a story for off the air. But I did fine with the pitch, but I messed something up I can't say on air.
Oh no.
With just it involves the clubhouse and famous pitcher and somebody I made.
This is
friends
the opening
with.
scene for the movie.
There it is.
But I was like
Dugout
so
Diaries.
much how I shouldn't have been.
Nice.
Dugout Diaries.
That's actually pretty good.
Coming to the CW.
Dugout
Dugout Diaries.
Just stories from players that didn't make it
Cute ass
in the
blonde
show.
white kids and some fucking dope ass
Just hot
Jack Black
milfs.
guy.
Yeah. Wait. What? Yeah.
Oh, I'm just thinking guys. When I think CW, I just think hot guys.
Hot black guys. Is that
course.
what
The
you said?
hot black guys on the
Yeah.
CW with those light eyes are the
Light
best.
eyes and yeah.
Oh, they're so good. I don't watch the CW.
Nobody does. That's why Mad TV's off the air. Keep going.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But I remember the same thing, that long hallway, because I was like, well, I was gonna go to art school, so I needed this time to paint. Now I think about it, I didn't even.
You're a
go
good
to,
artist,
I didn't
yeah.
even go to art school though, because I didn't know how to get to film school. So I had the same kind of conversation.
Right.
My dad wasn't happy. He was a baseball coach and baseball player, so he was okay with it, but he was like, I could tell he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have quit. To this day, I made a mistake. I could have done both.
Quitting
I don't know-
baseball?
Yeah, should not have. I truly believe that. I could have easily done both. Something in my head was like, I can't. I went to the coach, tried to tell him, chickened out the first time,
Of course.
went back, and I was like, I got to tell him, because I'm not going to come, because they had like not the trial, but the people that are in the team beforehand, and I didn't show up. And I had to go to he was an English teacher too, and I was like, I remember that the fucking hallway got longer and longer. I'll never forget it. And I went into his classroom, and I was like, hey, and he's like, hey, just wanted to know why you weren't at practice.
Oof.
You know, we got tryouts in a couple days. I want you to be involved in the picking of some of these guys coming up. And I'm like,
This is a good coach. This is a good coach character. by
It
the
is
way.
really
So-
great.
she's not a coach in my life. And he's like, I have a dad as a coach. And he goes, so what's up? You okay? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's exciting. You know, new season, new guy, a lot of good guys. Some guys in the summer
Cut the
are
bullshit,
gonna be
Morin.
good. No, I didn't even get to that. But I
didn't?
was so eyes on the floor, and I was like, it's gonna be a good year for you.
Whoa.
And he was like, excuse me,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
That's it.
And that was it.
I'm gonna
I
go.
couldn't even.
I'm gonna
I
go.
gotta go.
paint.
He scared me, man. He
Didn't want to
scared
tell
me.
him why, huh?
I just got scared, and then I realized all my teammates were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because I'd just be in the art studio all.
Yeah, there's an
by the
easel
way,
with my name on
Didn't
it.
go to art school. Went
Wow.
to film school. Didn't know I could have just made a damn film. Had a great art show though. Either way,
Where are those works?
you know what? I think when my mom sold the house, she got rid of them.
Don't you have something in the Capitol though?
In Hartford, I did. I don't think it's there anymore. Yeah, I did a whole series. It did get me into colleges. It gave me it definitely helped me get into
Great.
certain schools.
Everything happens the way it's supposed to
Yeah,
happen. I
and
believe
now
in that.
it's good. And I want to do it again. But it's and it's funny because now my dad is the one who goes, "When are you going to paint again?" which is interesting because he was
That's awesome.
truly mad, but trying not to be mad that I
When your
quit.
dad asks about interests of yours, or at least is just like,
Yeah.
doesn't it make you immediately go, I got to start painting? Because dad asked, that means he wants
Yeah.
me to paint him something. He wants like a giant mural of him above his bed. I don't know if that's what
Or
he wants.
it goes back to, is he sick? Where it's like,
Right.
I'll tell you guys later. You should start painting again. Maybe something of me. Something,
Yeah,
Maybe something
for
of
a-
me, quick, in the next 2 months. What?
Wait a minute.
But
Me and you.
my point to that, we had plays at our school.
Yes.
And I always wanted to do them, and I would sign up with like my friend Garrett, like because he also wanted to do it. We were two jock kids,
Yeah.
and then he would pussy out at the last second, so I wouldn't go, and so
Damn.
I wouldn't even go. And now you're in a school, and we had decent plays, but they weren't like what I've seen from Fahim's videos and what I'd assume from yours. So when you're playing Danny Zuko in Greece,
Yeah.
like, and you gotta sing. These were like not even singing plays. I was too scared to even sing in front of people.
Wow.
Like, you weren't at all, puberty, all that shit, not scared, coming off a football team? Like, weren't you concerned of people making fun of you? Or, like,
No.
how did you find
I
that?
wasn't. I mean,
Really?
that's what's funny. And I think I've always, and I don't know where I got it from, but it was always like it looked fun and I wanted to do it. And I was like, oh, if we can make both work. And I don't know. I think also, too, that getting teased a lot at a young age and then,
Oh, yeah.
and then my folks splitting up early. Thanks for bringing that up. And that happened. No, but in all seriousness, like that and the teasing, I got like so much, I don't know if perspective is the right word, but just empathy and just like, I don't know, thick skin
I was gonna
and
say, did
almost
it help
more
with your
confidence.
confidence? That's what I was gonna say.
Because first of all, when I started, I've said this before, but when I was, getting teased as the fat kid, and then I started making people laugh in 6th grade. I mean, it was smaller pockets of people, like, on the bus in 3rd and 4th grade with just small groups. But once I started like at recess or in class and starting to really be known for doing that and getting more confident to do it, even at the urinal, making fun of the kid who pulled his pants all the way down, Spencer Walsh, shout out. I think he still does it. But then I started to I was known as the funny kid, not the fat kid. So that's truly why I chased and started trying to make people laugh more, because like, oh, cool. People are accepting me more and not teasing me because they're like, yeah, we want you. Like the cool kids were like inviting me to the parties or little birthday parties because they're like, funny kid, instead of like, you're probably gonna eat all the cake, you fat fuck, which I did anyway. But I literally had a friend's dad once when I came over. I was reaching in the cabinet for one of his snacks. Had great snacks, and he was just like, he's like, hey, only one fruit snack this time, huh?
Oh, well,
As a
that's gonna
dad, like he was
Yeah.
2 sentences away from like, hey, you got time for a titty fuck after you dip those Pop-Tarts in the Milky Ways, you fucking chunky bastard. Like it was just, but
cut to the core.
yeah, but you need some of those signals from parents to kind of like cut you a little bit, because then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta fucking like figure some shit out. But anyway, so doing both, I never. I mean, here's where the teasing came from. This is actually, I've never told this, and you're making me remember this, and this is crazy. So the plays, they would always be big on ways to advertise it in the school, like within like grassroots. So we would do, for the musicals, we'd go into classrooms. There'd be a day where
wow.
like 10 of the cast members for the musicals would go. We did Once on This Island my senior year, which by the way is like an all-black cast because it's kind of like an islandy. We had like a Filipino kid and one half black girl. Everyone else was white. Fucking, where's that tape? But so hopefully burned. Nope, it's at home. But we would go into the classrooms and perform songs to try to people would teach them math, and then it was scheduled, and so we'd come in and but we'd come in like in character. It was like one of those. I don't like when the servers come over and sing Happy Birthday like at Chili's out of nowhere, and there's like in
So
character.
you're doing a number during the class.
We would come in. It wouldn't be like we'd come in and be like, all right, we're from the musical and let's hit the tape and let's start doing it. We would like knock on the door and open the door and be like, is this where Oz is? Like somebody would, and the teacher's like, fuck, that's right. You guys are coming in to sing. Is it time already? And we would just burst into these classes and jump into musicals the way that, don't you have a bit about like people just bursting in, or maybe you do it in riffs?
I did it in high school as a joke. But
Yes.
I did it like ironically, but really wanted to do it. But it wasn't like that. Where did you have to be in costume and shit? Too?
Well, so we would do it in our street clothes, but then they had a display case. So you walk into the high school, up the steps, and there's the big foyer right in the thing where you go to the left. That's where the office is. Was that a lot of foyers? Hey, was there a cage in that foyer?
Hey, call back.
Nice.
And so I don't like the way you pointed at me, Jay. And so You do got a fun point though. That's smooth bully.
I kind of got
You
an
did
angle.
it.
Yeah,
Was
he
it?
does
Which
it at
way
an
did you do
Let's
it?
go like an angle like that.
That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But also,
it's like
that is
This
real
is aggressive.
That's
this
principle.
is you're a piece of shit.
Turn it just a little
Oh,
bit.
just a little bit. Hey, cool, man.
that
That's
guy's a
Detective
fucking
Dad, dude. And that's what you do when you go, I think we've solved the case.
Yep.
Or somebody else says that and you go, did we? Yeah, see, I couldn't even do it. You see how I
Credits.
did that?
Credit.
Yeah, he does it like
You
kung
gotta,
fu hands.
you're like
too.
turning as you point, I
Oh,
think.
yeah. Boom.
I turned and then went like that. So
Yeah,
it's almost
see,
like
that's-
I'm trying to give a prostate
Yeah.
exam. I'm not a doctor. Your brother is, but so
That's true.
so
might be.
crushing
I
it.
don't know.
And so there's a display case. You would
Yeah.
walk into the foyer, and it was you go straight. You can go down one hallway to get to classrooms to the right. Just you can picture it. So these display cases had all the things to a science club fair. Announcements for the school, more or less.
Right.
Sometimes just old trophies and stuff like that. And so one of the display cases, and this was a thing that I remember even seeing when I went to the plays in elementary school and would hear about, is that they would have sometimes actors, and for some of the plays, I don't know how they thought of it, do like performance art and put them in the display cases.
What?
And kind of like do like in costume to promote the play. I've never talked. This is fucking bonkers now that I'm thinking about
That's
it.
like the mannequin trick at the mall where people are pretending to be the mannequin and then
Yes!
people are like, hey,
Dude,
and
in
they
a
point.
display case in high school, in theater full costume and makeup.
Did you do
so,
it?
In a case.
Remember when I told you as in the Nancy Drew Mysteries,
Weird.
I played, I think it was Tom Tozzle. Yeah, that was my name.
Good
You know why Tom Tozzle?
names
Because
are
my
so
buddy's dad, Lee Stevens, who always had this mantra, easy on the door, please. Because he would close his Subaru too hard and he would go, God damn it, easy on the door. It was like a fucked up door. And he was always worried you were going to break his door. So we'd drop us off at
Such
school.
a dad thing, by the way.
He'd drop us off at school or whatever and be like, easy on the door, please. And by the way, what do you think we did as soon as he closed it? Easy on the door, please.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Lee, So, great dude. And so he would always be like, he would always call me like the hilarious Tom Tozzle. He wouldn't even call me by my name. Every time I would hang out at their house, he was like,
It's
oh,
like a
it's Tom.
made up name?
It was my character's
From
name, and Nancy
Nancy
Drew.
Drew, oh, yeah.
And even his sister, Christina Stevens, I think she lives actually in Burbank.
Do you ever wonder if they did know your name or they're like, that's Tom Tozzle for the fucking
Right.
thing, huh? It's Tom Tozzle.
Oh, what if they didn't? To this
That's
day,
how good of a job he did, maybe.
I was so convincing. His sister, by the way, offered to her and a friend one time because they were in elementary school. They went to the play, and so they were like kind of starstruck that I'm at their house because again, you the actor in the play, and
Yeah.
and I remember she came up with her friend, and they were like, "Do lines from the play," and I was like, "Nah, I'm all right." And then they were like, "We'll give you our guinea pig," and I was like, "I don't know where you learned to bargain. This is not
What?
And then she used to eat chapstick, but so I got dressed up for the display case. I was like, fuck yeah. Like I was just, and it
Wow.
sounded funny and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm on the football team, by the way, at this time. This
Wow.
is freshman year. I'm doing both the play and football. And so, freshman team, we practice with the varsity and everybody. So you
Yeah.
get to know the whole squad. You're suiting up for varsity games. You got to be on the sideline for some. Never made it in, except for one play on the very last play of the season when they was like, fuck it, put a bunch of freshmen in there, went in on the offensive line. Fucking this 300-pound senior just like, I tried, just leveled me and
yeah.
sacked the quarterback. And I was just like, hey, man, the coach was like, probably shouldn't have put you in, Ray, huh? And I was like, yeah, that's on you, And so I'm in the display case. Football team. Everyone's walking through. This
What if
is
the coach said, nice block, Danny Zuko?
Oh, he did in basketball because he was also the basketball coach. So if I fucked up a play, he'd be like, sorry, I don't have a script for this fucking play, Zuko.
Wow.
Hilarious.
That's great.
Very funny. So cried a lot. So I dressed up in costume for the display case, but here's what I'm building to. I remember I told you in the play there was a scene where to try to fool Nancy Drew and get some clues or whatever, I dressed up as like her chef, like a woman.
Yeah,
it was like this woman with like an accent that was I don't know what that is, but it was. So they suggested, they were like, I was like, oh, so get it in the Tom Tozzle outfit, and they're like, it'd be really funny if you dressed up as that woman. So I dressed up full makeup in the fucking fake boobs, a dress, a wig, in the display case. At the beginning of school. So there was like, I had to get there early, like 6:45, get all done up, and be in the display case for the bum rush of the opening of the doors to school, and everyone comes through and just laying there. And by the way, I think, was it just me? I think it was just me. And I was just so down, dude. I was like, yeah, fuck it, this will be fun and help promote the show.
Wow.
And I'm in there, I'm like, oh, it'll be kind of funny. And I'm in there, and dude, people come up, And all my friends, and by the way, not only the beginning of school, then I would go back and during lunch they had me do it.
Oh my God.
Dude, there is over 5,000 kids in this school coming through. People that I even forgot I knew from back in the day are like knocking. By the way, people are just pestering me, poking the glass. My buddies are just fucking trying to make me laugh, which I did sometimes. Could be laying there and be like, "You fucking pussy ass bitch." I'd be like,
"You're a brave kid."
Wow.
And then the football players would come through and just ridicule me, dude. And it was like, that's when it got tough. I mean, I'm not going to say some of the things they said, but you can only imagine what high school football players in the late 90s are doing to a kid dressed as a woman. You know?
In a display case.
In a display case, dude. And the case is not even that thick. It's like, you know, the aquarium where you're like, hey, fuck you, shark, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't do that. But, you know, if you're doing that.
He did after your experience in the display case. He ran crying to the aquarium.
Out of the shark.
He goes, fuck you, shark. You're better than me.
You're not better than me.
Hey, you woman, get out of here. The aquarium's closed. I'm a boy. And you throw the wig at him.
Oh my God.
In heels.
So it could. Oh yeah. So it could have like cracked. It would shake so much when they would harass me and
they're big guys. You got 300-pound fucking football players at a 5,000 person school. They're gonna be big. And oh man.
There was one where the guys truly just gave me a lot of shit, and I remember I went back to the drama teacher, Miss Johnson. I was like, I can't do that anymore. I did like 4 lunches and 2 openings of the school day. That's a wrap. You know, it was too much to handle.
Enough. You should have earned like 10 days off school for that.
Isn't that
like
crazy
free
though?
labor.
Like looking back, like that was how they were trying to market it to the
When was
school.
this, by the way? When did you? What year?
Freshman year of high school, so 1998.
Wow. So much younger.
Yeah, man. And that is, by the way, that is not the time to be doing that.
No.
I bet it would be awesome and celebrated now.
I would. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't even have done the plays. I wouldn't even audition. I was so scared of all that when I was in high school. Yeah, I didn't start stand up until I was 35 years old.
That's right. God, you ever
And
think
I've
about
always
it, you start when you were 20?
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm like, I'd be fine.
But again, man, it's supposed like you
Things
were
just-
curating all that experience to
Yeah.
like to have all this built-in perspective and you know, to come with like
people that I went to high school with, when they come see me, and even if they come see Brent and I, we do the singing stuff. They're always like, we had no idea. It's because I was chicken. I was so scared.
Yeah.
And it was all because I didn't want to be made fun of. I didn't want them to point at me like this. You know?
I had that one
on stage.
I had that one, like, I was such a follower and I cared so much what people thought growing up, and that I was like, I just remember seeing, like, I was such a fucking romantic. I'd see Jennifer Love Hewitt and Can't Hardly Wait, and I was like, oh, I want to be a jock, and I'm about to go into high school. So I bought, well, first it was in middle school, like, oh, now we're connecting schools. So it's all the elementary schools are together. So I go, I want people to think of me as a jock, because I thought that's cool. It's all the 90s movies and shit and all the stuff I loved. And I was like, my She's All That is out there, you know, my
Great
Rachel
movie.
Lee Cook.
Yes.
And I was like, so I gotta buy the Chicago Bowl windbreakers. So I bought these windbreakers. Yeah, I know, but I'm a kid. So I got like Chicago Bowl windbreakers, and I had these Laker ones that were tearaway. And I don't know why, I just thought as long as I wear sports stuff, people think I'm an athlete. Yeah. And so I'm walking, and my best friend, Elliot Gordon, I'll call out full names for this shit. My longest friend, best friend, in middle school, walking down the hall, it's these new girls too, so it's new experiences. You're seeing new people, and I'm like, all right, now you blew it in elementary school, but this is a new chance. I remember, I think I was in 6th grade, walking down the hall, and I see these girls, and this girl gives me a look, and I'm like, hi. And right as I do that, Elliot rips off my breakaway pants. I'm still wearing Ninja Turtle underwear because I just left 5th grade and I love the Ninja Turtles.
fuck yeah.
So right away, I'm breakaway pants Brent Morin. So immediately, all laughing at me. Elliot's like, really? That was easy. Like, he was just shocked how easy it was to rip it off. So I'm just whitey tighties, Ninja Turtle. So then cut to high school. I go to high school. Elliot's gone now. He did so bad in middle school. His parents had money, so they sent him to boarding school. So he's gone. And but now I have no real, like, just friend.
Yep.
So, but I have friends I play sports with, but I don't have, like, people that I'm like, and people in the neighborhood that you ride bikes with.
Yeah.
But I don't really have anybody. And I was like, but I want to be sitting at the cool table.
Yep.
So I would sit at the table. They'd let me sit, but I wouldn't speak. I had all these jokes in my head, but I was too scared to say them. And then I was just thinking, okay, from a distance, these upperclassmen, these girls are going to think I'm, like, cool, popular.
Just because you're at the table.
Yeah, because I'm at the table. Never got invited to anything. I was just home watching, like, fucking Topanga on Boy Meets World on Friday nights.
1000%.
And so I remember it was sophomore year. This changed everything for me. And I was making fun of myself if anybody tried to make fun of me. So that was when they went out Allen, they couldn't come at me. But then I remember man, I'm sitting in the cafeteria. I asked some friends. I was like, hey, is there any, like, actually asked, hey, you want to hang out this weekend? To people that I play sports with, and like, actually, I got a lot of stuff to family things, and and I was like, man, this is somebody I thought was my friend. I'm not even hanging out. So I'm finally one day sitting in the cafeteria by myself, and I'm looking at everybody. I'll never forget mid-sophomore year, and I'm just looking at big backpacks with way too many books hanging to their ass, girls with fries and acne, and just fucking
Fries?
yeah, just ugly
French fries.
just pieces of shit. Just looking around, fries.
I
And
didn't know
so
if that was like a fashion thing from you. When you
no,
were a
just
kid or
kids
something.
eating fries and just getting their pizza bagels and just seeing trays and
Yeah.
something in my mind. I'll never forget. I was by myself sitting there, and I'm looking at the upperclassmen that I think are cool. I'm really examining them and analyzing them, and I'm starting to think. And I had this epiphany mid-sophomore year. Never forget it. I go, why the fuck do I care what these people think?
Nice.
Whoa.
And I got up. I went to the microphone in the cafeteria where they make announcements, grabbed the microphone and asked out the hottest senior in school and did a prom dance that I made up because I stopped.
It's like a movie.
because
Holy shit.
I just stopped hiding all the things I wanted to say because I wouldn't speak when I had a bit or something to do. And
Probably ate at you too, right? Would you leave that table and go, damn
yeah,
it?
because I
Or-
could have had a comeback against you if you said this, and I could have did this, and I was like, or I wanted to jump in and I couldn't because I
But
was
also
like,
so scary. There's no way you were going to
because I had bullies on my bus and I was getting made fun of.
and
so,
one wrong joke or line and they don't laugh.
yeah,
Oh,
and I'm
done.
You're
done.
never,
I'm
yeah.
done.
And
I'm
so
not
you're
allowed
like,
at the table.
at least I'm here and I'm not
Yeah.
talking.
Then I did that, and like,
Wait, did people go nuts?
I became so popular after that.
Nice.
Because
What did the girl do?
I became the funniest. She laughed.
Immediately started playing with herself. Like, what did she do?
She laughed. All the guys she was with laughed because I did like a little song and dance. And that's where I just started going, I'm never going to hide any of the thoughts that I have. And I'm not going to care what these people think anymore because it hasn't got me anywhere without being myself. So my lesson is just be yourself. That's when I started doing the, somebody would come to me like, man, my Spanish teacher, she's so mean, dude. Brent, you got to do something. And I said, what class? And then during lunch, I'd grab 4 or 5 guys and we'd jump in and do West Side Story, Gotta Be Cool, jump on our desk and stuff. And I'd throw the papers up. I'd say, I deal with the teachers, you deal with the students. But it was all my
God.
sport friends. And next thing you know, I remember I'm pissing at a urinal and one of the coolest kids in my grade, like tall before he should be.
What was his name?
Kevin. Cool as shit.
Kevin what? We all have.
Kevin McConnell. He was cool as shit.
Dude, yeah.
And he literally
Didn't want to shout him
I
out.
didn't. Oh, because I'm still nervous. But he just says we're both pissing. His penis gray. Mine finding
Gray?
himself. But gray penis.
Oh,
Great.
great or gray?
Gray. Very gray.
But
Gray
he just-
penis.
I just remember him saying, he goes,
Didn't live past high school.
he just says, what do you do on the weekends? And I was like, and keep in mind, I was a kid asking other people if I can hang out, like scared, people I thought were my friends. And I go, oh, just hang. And he goes, you should hang out with us on the weekend. You should come to these parties. And like, that's how I got invited to all that shit
You
because
should
I
come to
stopped
these
caring.
parties.
These parties.
Isn't it cool too that the cool kids too? They don't do a direct invite. They're like, if you know it's good for you, you should do this.
Yeah. And they're
you're
like, you should know where it is.
yeah. Are you inviting me? He's like, just walk outside, just listen for the fun. And you're like, is that how you do it,
Listen for the
McConnell?
fun.
He's like, yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Someday you'll have a great
He
penis.
still looks good too. Still looks good.
And
Still
that
good
was
looking.
what grade? that you
I
found
was
that
mid
confidence?
sophomore year. Mid sophomore
Mid-
year. I was probably like 15.
Mid sophomore year was the year for me too.
So,
Well, my brother and I, we got teased constantly. We were the only twins in the school for a
Twins
while.
get teased, don't they?
And man, it was rough. And we were very like sensitive to it. Like we were always so, we concerned ourselves with it so much. Like,
Yeah.
if I wear this, I might get teased. If I say this thing, I might. I mean, it was just.
Did it ever concern you so much, or the teasing was so just demonstrative that you were like, God, I wish I didn't fucking have a twin. Like, did it ever
No,
get that?
never. I always had his back. I got my ass kicked so much because of my brother too. Because
Why?
Same.
Well, because we got picked on, but my brother would kind of like just, if anybody picked on my brother, I'd try to beat him up, which that never went that way.
That's dope. Good for
Always got my ass kicked. Always. That's
Wow.
what's that?
I was gonna say, what did people pick on you for being a twin?
I don't know. They would pick on. Well, they picked on my brother because he was late to get his training wheels off. And they would like ride behind him on his bike and try to knock
Kids,
him
man,
over.
are
And, like,
fucking nasty.
fucking
By the
weird.
way, let's think
and
about the
and
things.
this is Long Beach. Like it was kind of rough. And like
Yeah.
Everyone gets their training wheels off at what age in Long Beach?
it was
Like 6
13,
months.
14. I'm just kidding.
A couple days ago.
But I'll never forget this one time. My brother came into the house crying, and I hadn't gone out with him that day. And we're like, everybody's like, "What's going on?" And he didn't have his bike with him, so I just got jumped, and they took my bike. I went out and
fuck?
found the kids. Got in a fight with like 6 of them at the
Wow.
same time, but I came home bleeding with my brother's
With the bike?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
But we were always
That's
getting picked
cool.
on. That's one of the reasons my dad put us into martial arts when we were like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Because you would come home with enough
I would-
stories and enough blood.
Dude,
and he
I
was
would
like,
fight so much, and I never won.
He's like, by the way, how many
Never.
fights did your dad see? Was he like at 7? He's like, I'm giving you 5 more.
5 more.
12, a baker's dozen of getting your ass kicked, and then
Exactly.
it's dojo time.
Everyone thought he was crazy. They're like, wait a minute, he's having a fighting issue at school, and you're
Not defending yourself.
well, no, his solution was to put me in martial arts class. They're like, what do you mean? He's fighting, and you're going to put him in a fighting thing? But he did the research, and literally day 1 of starting martial arts, I never got in a fight at school again.
Whoa.
Yeah, never. I just
Wow.
anytime I had to defend myself, but
Yeah.
but we were always being made fun of. And sophomore year, what's cool is the high schools in Long Beach in the 80s all had fraternities and sororities.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's right.
all
You
the high
told
sc-
me this.
Yeah, all the high
Where
schools
is
in
that documentary slash movie slash coffee
They,
table?
I want to write it. It's amazing. All the high schools in Long Beach had fraternities and sororities. It
That's
was a trip.
unreal.
They're not there anymore, I don't think. But in the 80s, 70s, it was huge. And when I got into high school, which back then it was junior, we didn't call it middle school, we called it junior high school. And
Yeah.
junior high school back then was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
When I was our elementary schools went from kindergarten to 6th grade.
that's what we did. That's what we did.
Yeah.
and then middle school was 7th and 8th,
And
high
we
school
didn't
was
have
9th through
we
12.
didn't have middle school. It was
Wow.
Wow.
elementary school to 6th grade, and then junior high school was
Jump in.
7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
By the way, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're just around.
Crazy, yeah. And
of
then
hormones.
then when you got into the 10th grade, you went into high school.
Oh, wow.
And you were
Oh, okay.
yeah. So our 10th grade year, we found out about, and I wanted to be cool so bad, me and my brother, and we found out about these fraternities that you had, but you had to like pledge, and
shit, yeah.
they went through this whole few months of like hazing you, and you had to go through all
What do you
these
think high
initiation
school
things.
hazing was like.
Oh, it was
Oh, man.
80s was crazy. There's some shit we were doing there. There's just no way you could
Because
Are
I
there
did a-
movies with this?
there's
gotta be.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Yeah.
Let's make it.
I'm
Yeah.
curious because I did the frat at USC and went through the pledging and the hazing.
It
and
wasn't
it was
the same. It was like they did stuff like this. We did streaking, obviously.
Yeah.
You had to do talent show skits, and
Sure.
then the one thing that we did that finally made me come out of my performance shell, because I always wanted to, but I was always like, if I do that, they'll make fun of me and I'll get teased. And I just had this really big thing with teasing. I was real
Yeah.
sensitive to it. So this one thing that we had to do this one night, we had to dress up as women, and then go to the mall and like dress in
See what
a bunch of
happens.
guys in
try to
dresses.
get numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm picturing
the-
Adam in the display case. It's not that bad.
Yeah, right. And then at the end of that thing, we all met at the park that we would all meet at, and they set up this little amphitheater thing, and we all had to do a skit. We had to team up, and me and my brother and my best friend Carlos, it was always the three of
Oh, I
us.
love Carlos.
We had nothing prepared,
Yeah.
and it was like almost our turn, and something in me just clicked, and I told my brother and Carlos, I said, follow my lead.
Oh,
And I
wow.
went out in front of all these seniors and juniors, and I ad-libbed a song and a rap,
No way.
and had everybody like clapping along and singing the chorus that I made up and
Both of you
everything.
guys did this.
Wow.
Do you remember it?
That's kind of crazy.
No, I don't remember it.
Damn it, dude.
I remember that we started with, this is so 80s. I started with, if everybody in the house wants to party, clap your hands. And they all went, and I went, oh. And I just got them. And then I go, if everybody in the house want to party, clap your hands. If everybody in the house want to party, and I do mean everybody. If everybody in the house want to party, clap your hands, clap. And then I went, and if everybody in the house want to party, and I went into
Yeah,
this rap.
80s
And then
style.
my
If you want
brother,
to party with me, you
and
gotta
my
party
brother,
with me.
yeah, and my brother and my buddy are like behind me, and they're chiming, and it
Holy
killed.
shit,
Oh,
dude.
that's
For
good.
how many
literally
people?
one of the members came up to me and went, that got you. When this is all over, you're already in
No
the
shit.
club.
Did your brother get in too?
All of us.
All of you did?
We all
Oh,
got
that's
in.
kind of dope.
And
man.
it was literally had nothing prepared. I ad-libbed it just like my
Yeah.
Holy shit.
pretty much just like my stand-up. I was full of shit, and I went in there, and that was like the first time I was like, I did it, and no one teased me.
Yeah.
And the crazy part was I was wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Didn't
Should be the
matter.
most teased. you
most
should
teased thing
be.
ever, but all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah.
it
You
was
owned
awesome.
it. You owned
yeah.
it. That is crazy. We both had like
Ended
a
up
similar
getting
moment
a
at the
Weirdly
senior girl asked me out
Of course.
afterwards.
Yeah,
It was
funny kills, man.
Were
it
you
was
this
a
tall?
trip.
Were you this tall?
No,
at that
I didn't
time?
get this tall until probably, I think I stopped growing at around 22.
Oh, really? God
Yeah.
damn it. I always wished for that.
Yeah.
I actually think I remember that because we knew each other like 18, 19.
Yeah, in
And
high
you're
school I was your height.
You're like 6'1", right? 6'1" or something? 6'1",
I'm just
2,
under
6'2",
6'2",
just
yeah.
under 6'2". And I asked you this, I think, years ago, because I was 19. And he goes, I didn't stop growing until I was 21, 22. So I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because you
think-
got to do headshots and they want your height. And I'm like, oh,
I think at my
I'm
tallest-
barely 5'11".
Everybody
I'm like,
lies.
In my senior year, at my tallest, I was 5'11". In my senior year, I was tallest. And then I think the next time I went for a checkup and all that stuff, I was 23 or something, and that's when I was over 6 feet
that's
tall.
so cool.
There's always that weird kid too that had the growth spurt. Like my buddy Tick Cardboard grew 9 inches from I think 8th to 9th grade. So came in as a freshman, just fucking a tree. You know,
Talk about getting 9th grade. I had a growth spurt, and my twin brother didn't.
That's
And in the 9th grade,
That
I was
sucks.
almost a whole head taller than my brother.
that's crazy.
and it was just
balloon
so
head or a
awkward.
normal head?
Normal head.
Yeah.
Normal head. But I had a mullet.
Fucking-
I had an 80s.
Remember that from earlier? Yeah.
I had an 80s mullet.
God, I want that photo.
I had an 80s mullet, and I was wearing the white terry cloth Miami Vice jacket.
Okay,
Yes.
do you have
You
photos
still-
of that?
I do. I'll
All
find
right,
them.
we're gonna have to.
yeah,
Let's mark this
yeah,
down
tweet 'em
for the
out.
website. We got to tweet them out, and we got to put for the website
80s
photos of
80s
you.
Jason, man.
And
Yeah.
I got one of me. You'll be like
80s
this kid.
Jason.
Yep.
Great
80s
band.
Jason.
Oh my.
Ooh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It
What'd you
just sounded
do?
loud. No, that's called acting.
It sounded like you said, "What'd you do?" Going back to Danny
do,
Zuko.
Zach?
What'd you
Yeah,
do to his knees?
Sandy, what's wrong with your kneecaps?
Sandy. I could have done that.
Yeah,
but,
dude. Well, actually, it wasn't that. There was a different one that we sang in a car.
I hurt my throat.
Her name was Rachel Osuna. She was a freshman. I was a sophomore. And it was a big deal for her to get the lead, too, by the way. You're just bringing up some shit. Remember we had to kiss, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, ooh, you got a kid? You know? And I remember she had bad breath in one of the
it's the worst.
performances. Not like so bad that it was like you couldn't kiss through it, but definitely to where you're like, I think you brushed your teeth, but I think you ate some stuff that was not, that nobody should put in their mouth, you know?
Before
and then,
this.
And then talk to people
Indian
and do a
food.
play. Also, you know, do character research. Maybe Sandy, maybe Sandy does need, you know, tuna fish. I don't know what it was,
Right.
but it was.
And did you have a crush on this girl at all?
No, I had a crush on this girl that I ended up making out with. She was a senior and I was a sophomore. Her name was Erin L. And she was like a soccer player.
E.L.?
E-L-L, yeah.
Oh my God,
She was
that's
soccer
such a
player.
like a model name.
Oh, dude, she was unbelievable. And this was like, you know, again, it started to give me that, like, you know, the plays, performing, like we all did, like in the cafeteria, like you get people, you start to realize too, once you start getting a little taste of it, you're like, oh, not everybody has the balls to do this or does it or is kind of like finding a path for it as you know, smoothly as I am. You still have some nerves about it, but you're still like, now that I'm comfy doing it, you jumped all in, right? So she came to the play, I remember, and was just like, you know, and I kind of always a little flirty thing with her in school, and I think I had a class with her. And then after the play, she's like, "You gotta come to this party on Saturday." I was like, "Yeah, if I can make it, you know, I got rehearsal, you know, like I'll see what the other T-birds are up to, you know." And yeah, then we made out at a party, and I thought,
Wow.
This is it.
oh, see, I was
Man,
the
I wasn't
greatest day of my
confident to
life.
do that as a sophomore.
Well, I was no, trust me, I was still very, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Did it
maybe-
continue?
Was that?
Did you keep dating her, or did you keep seeing
Didn't
her?
even date. No, I mean, I tried. We hung out a few more times, and then it just like. Also, I was so, and this is probably, I don't know if this is because of a lack of dad, but like not having like my mom. So my mom was like, start slow, you know, touch a tit, and then work your way, and try to get a finger. You know, she didn't like, you know, there was no real coaching. I don't know if any parent does that, but like, I was always so. Apprehensive to take things up a notch, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, of
and
course.
I remember even my 8th grade girlfriend, Erin, who's now married to one of my buddies. They got like 5 kids. And
Is it Tick?
was that
Tick cupboard?
Tick cupboard?
Tick cardboard.
Cardboard.
Tick
Oh,
cardboard,
Pay
dude.
attention, Will.
Pay attention, Will. Stop just being so
But that's a
technical.
great level of listening to where
Yeah.
you're like cardboard, cupboard, like
Yeah,
you're all in the
come
same
on, man.
family.
Why don't we just?
right?
Why don't you guys just shut the fuck up and continue?
You
We're
ever,
all like,
you ever
whoa.
fixed a cupboard with cardboard? Yeah, they're in the same aisle at the department store, and so she was. We dated for a little bit, and I was so apprehensive to like make a move, or if she came to my house once. Remember, my mom was, you know, my room was downstairs. She was like, "Yeah, keep the door open." I heard her footsteps, and we started making out a little bit. But the little did I know, because you know, in freshman year of high school, she dated a senior, so like, oh, looks like she wanted to, you know, take things up a notch, and but I never did that, and then she dumped me for my buddy Jess, fucking Little Caesars, the heir to Little Caesars.
Oh, man.
I'm putting quotes around that.
Yeah.
And so, and I remember they started dating, and this kid, by the
Little
way,
Caesars.
had the because pizza. And he had an older brother. He, again, just even though he lied about some bullshit, he definitely had the charisma of an older, and he was bigger, and he was a great athlete. So it was like, as soon as they started dating, I was like, oh, they're doing everything, you know, and it was the worst. And like,
They just had that vibe.
Yeah.
oh
That
yeah,
guy
dude.
definitely does,
And I remember like,
You could tell the way people just hold hands. You're like,
Yeah.
ah,
Oh,
there.
that's that guy's.
well, we
guy.
would trade notes in between classes and hold hands a little bit, and then they were just like, he'd show up and his folks were dropping them off together at school, and I was like, did she stay the night?
I was gonna say.
Oh, she broke up with me over the phone. I think her friend called me, and then I was like, put her on the phone. And she's like, she's not here. She's like, he's not here. I was like, put her on the phone.
Oh no.
Fuck, you don't want to tell her she's a piece of shit. I didn't say that. I was like, are you sure this is what you want? She's like, yeah, you know, just, you don't have any pizza franchises in your family, you know?
Wow.
And, yeah, it was a bummer.
Dude, those fucking kids.
Those
man.
heartbreaks were the worst.
Over the
To
phone?
this day, I'm almost.
yeah.
Now it's emojis,
Yeah,
right? I'm sure my
nah.
15-year-old nephew, if he breaks up with his girl, will just be like a sad
Oh, and
face.
it's actually probably a tweet and an Instagram video too. So
Yeah.
it probably hurts a lot more.
And
now.
we didn't have, when I was a kid, no pagers, no cell phones, nothing. You just had to figure it out the next day. And this girl, I asked her out, and she was so gorgeous. This girl that I had a huge crush on, I asked her out. And we had a great date. I was so corny because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I brought her flowers, took her to a movie.
You're doing what sounds right or what you've seen on TV
right
or whatever.
At the end of the date, she says, "Are you gonna kiss me or what?" I'm like, "Yeah." And we kissed, and I'm like, "I think the hottest girl in school is my girlfriend."
Whoa.
Whoa.
So the next day, I go to school, and I don't see her anywhere.
She's
I'm like,
French kissing
she's
the
like,
principal.
Not anywhere. I can't. And all the normal. she's fucking. Imagine that. What is happening?
Not only are you so confused
Not just
that
kissing
she's
either.
not. Yeah.
French
But
kiss.
she's not in any of the normal spots that I would see her at, and I'm trying. I'm like, I'm gonna show up there. I'm like, "Hey, new girlfriend," you know.
Yeah.
I don't see her anywhere. I'm like, maybe she stayed home sick. So then I'm in like fourth period or something, and I asked the teacher if I could use the restroom, get the hall pass.
Oh yeah.
And I always use the restroom during class because
You did?
I had the bully thing. I had the PTSD from being bullied, and so I would always try to go when there was nobody in there.
Oh,
Wait,
interesting.
bullies were cornering you in the bathroom?
Oh, I got a story about that. So cool story. But anyways, so I'm by myself in the hallway walking to the restroom, and I'm thinking about her. I'm going, I can't wait to see her. Maybe she'll be here tomorrow. And who's the only other kid in the hallway? Her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey. She literally goes, no.
Oh, that
And
would break
walks
me.
Past me.
That would break me.
Oh,
I didn't know what happened for the next 10 years.
of course.
I was like, I had no
Devastating.
idea.
What happened?
So I find
say
out.
you didn't know.
Because we see her at the, when I say 10 years, this is what I'm saying. 10-year class reunion.
Yeah.
We're all there. She's there. Now she's 28 and gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's gotten better.
Bombshell.
I'm married at the time. By then I'm married and I'm happily married. So I'm like, whatever with it. I see her go up to my brother, give him a big hug. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then she kind of does this to me. Oh, hey.
Ooh.
What happened? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Turns out her best friend had a crush on me. And she told her, don't date Jason or something. This is the story I heard. And she never spoke to me again.
Damn. And I bet those girls aren't friends anymore.
Vicious.
Yeah, no, I don't even know where that girl is.
Dude, girls break up. That sucks.
Yeah.
What was the bathroom thing though?
Okay, so when
Bathroom bullies, by the
I-
way, this is.
Oh,
I mean,
his name was Booker.
Booker, the bathroom bully? Somebody write
Right
that
up there at Bobby the Balloon, Henna Jello the.
Yeah, Booker the bathroom
Jiggler.
bully. So he would wait. He
Write the
cornered-
musical in this opening number to Booker the bathroom bully, Brent. Because what
This
happened?
is you. So he corners me in the. I go into the bathroom again during class because I don't want to be in there when there's other kids. He's in there fucking beating the shit out of kids or whatever, right?
By the way, this doesn't get around at some point. Like kids don't
It was-
walk,
it
return
was
to
the
class
80s.
fucked up, and they're like, "That was a rough shit, huh?" You're like, yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. So what he would do is he cornered me, and he pulled my wallet out of my back pocket, and he threw it in the urinal and made me go in after it.
Damn, how big
Whoa,
was Booker?
that's so
he was a lot
funny.
taller than me, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, cut to years later, I go to my homecoming at the high school that I went to. I go to a homecoming game. By this time, I'm a dad. I run a few martial arts schools. I'm trained now and all
Yeah.
this.
I've got a new
And
wallet.
I got a new wallet, dude. Velcro with a chain. Anyways,
Fuck yeah.
hooked to the loop.
Long
Tried
Beach.
taking that, Booker.
Yeah,
Anyways,
try putting that in the shitter book.
Love the way
so
you
I'm
said
walking through a crowd. It's halftime.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through the crowd to get to the snack bar or whatever. and this guy bumps my shoulder so hard, and I turn and I looked, and he looks up at me and goes, "I'm
Looks
sorry,
up at
sorry,
you?
bro, sorry, bro, that was a total accident." I go, "Yeah, no problem." Walk away, and I go, "Wait a minute, it was Booker."
Where's my wallet?
And I look back, and I was gonna say, and I said, "You know what? That was enough.
Because he's smaller now,
That was
too,
enough.
huh?
I didn't need to say anything."
Yeah.
Fist pound.
Yeah, we're a
And
little
yeah,
further. We got to work on
No,
speed.
I like that.
I got to the stands. I goes, "Dave, you're never gonna guess who I just literally bumped into."
And he's
I go, "Remember
apologizing
Booker,
to
the bathroom bully?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, my brother's like, "Let's go kick his ass."
you.
Let's go fucking pin him in the stall.
Because the thing we also
But all
don't
I
know is
needed
your
was
brother
that.
also.
All I needed was that scared apology, and it was just
Yeah, that's all you need.
looking down at the guy that I used to go, "Please don't take my wallet."
Did you ever replay that in your head though, and think about like that cool movie line, like when he's like he looked up and he was like, "Mr. Collings," and you were like,
Yeah.
"I think you better book it."
Yeah,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then have that
I
be
never
your-
thought of that. That was good though.
Should have been like,
It's like that
buy
Biff
me a
moment
hot
in Back to
dog.
the Future.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, well, that is, I don't know if this is like a segment for the show or whatever, but like, it'd be great to get him in here.
To get Booker in here.
In the den.
I wonder if he's alive.
Great question.
That's dark, but I
Nope, that's great. Dude,
Yeah.
Tried skateboarding again in his late age and fucking.
Look,
got-
He wasn't a
up at you.
skateboarder. He was G'd up, but yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, Booker.
but guess what, dude? If you're beating up kids in bathrooms, dude,
Brent, the
you
bathroom
don't go on-
bully. I could
Also
have been
good.
that. I could have been that.
You definitely don't go on to anything great.
Right.
You're beating up kids in bathrooms. Like,
Oh,
that's
he
what,
looked when he bumped into me. He looked like a little crackhead, dude. It
Oh,
was,
that
it was a
sucks.
trip.
feel
He
bad
probably
for him
was.
Now. Now I feel bad
I
for
don't.
him. Well, yeah, that's true.
No, because you're old
No, I
enough
do.
at that age of life to know that that is wrong and like,
Yeah.
But
And
also, dude, he probably came from a fucked up household.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I all of that went through my head. I was like, you know, it's a
Little bit of empathy.
He's having a hard
yeah,
enough time.
and that's good. I think that's the yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Is that how you ended?
Well, because I don't
If that
know
was
how
the
to
end,
end
by
it.
the way, and it
We
ended
never
after
know
that,
how to
I
end
think
it.
that's it.
Well, because Will gave me this, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
means.
Did you do the
Yeah.
the
That
wrap it
usually
up?
means keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
Wrap
How long?
it up.
What have we been? How long? have
Like
we
an
been-
hour 15.
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
man! We went
Time
down this.
flies when you're having
the name
fun.
of this
Oh, dude,
episode
you
is
know.
Nostalgia Road.
I
You
know.
know,
This
We
was
gotta
great.
call
You know
it
we could do
Nostalgia.
5 hours.
We
Let's
could
do
do
it.
5
Let's do
hours
it.
of this. Well, you're coming back
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But promote your album that's
Yo,
coming
so
out.
Songs for the People.
Songs
it's out
for
right
the
now.
People. Out
iTunes,
right now.
Amazon, Spotify,
Getting
Google
it.
Play.
And we're gonna put it at the end of this episode
All the
too, so
way
you'll
zip.
listen.
Yeah.
You'll listen to all the way.
It's songs and sketches, so it's like
Yeah.
those classic, Sandler albums.
love it.
Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls also sings on one of the tracks.
Oh, that's amazing.
About my nieces, and
Jesus,
are they
that's
twins?
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real sweet like '80s power ballad, and the chorus is about how I beat up kids for them if they fucked with them, and
Nice.
and he sings a part on it. It's pretty great. I played 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
But that's
Goo Goo Dolls, man. I remember every time I got turned down, I would go
Dolls.
home and listen to the Goo Goo Dolls.
Which song?
great question.
Don't want the world to
Yep.
leave me, 'cause I don't think they understand.
Remember when we did that in New York at karaoke and we were so drunk?
You sang that song?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
Brent
wow.
literally looked at me at one point. This is how I know how drunk we were, and I'm doing it, and I finished it, and he just goes, "That was beautiful," but he meant it. It wasn't like a
dude.
joke.
We
Right.
had a blast. Didn't we actually do that later at like a strip club or something too?
Yes,
we
you me and David, we got the strippers to air
guitar, 'cause they
and
were
air.
so bad and bored with their job. We're air drumming and guitar.
Dave and Brent and I are sitting front row for
Sullivan?
the program.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sullivan.
just going to town. This is pre-blown up fireplaces, and he's just fucking, he's just going to, dude, and he's just drumming away. And Dave got up. Actually, I think he was playing the bass, and I
Yeah.
was crying laughing
Yeah, we had
because
a
it
blast.
looked so real, and just we were so just into it.
It
We met
was
Aaron
so-
Carter in the streets
That's
of New
the other
York.
thing. Right
Oh,
after we
woo.
left too, as a joke, but also happened. Adam sees. He goes, "We're in the middle." He goes, "Oh my god!" And this is Times Square when nobody's out.
4 in the
4
morning,
in the
yeah.
morning. He goes, "Aaron Carter," and I go, "Yes, and him." I go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And we run. This
And it
guy
was him.
thinks we're the biggest fans.
We
of him.
fanned out, Dave. This shit should be on his reel, dude. He was just like putting on a show.
Oh,
and we
dude.
took a selfie with him because we were
And he
like,
was with some girl, and you could tell he's like, "All right, guys, I'll take
It
one
made his
photo."
night.
But we were totally fucking with him.
yeah.
That was such a great.
That was
night.
amazing.
Anyway, play this.
All my tour
right,
dates,
so-
AdamRayComedy.com, Instagram, Adam Ray Comedy. Nope.
That
No,
sounds,
it's just
that
something
sounds
you-
80s ballad.
Okay, here it is. Wait.
Is this live?
Travel to the depths of hell. The world can be scary.
I obviously wrote this.
Amazing.
Wow. Fucking guitar solo.
Wow.
Dude,
Fucking A.
his voice, he literally just makes a hit, doesn't he?
Man.
Well, dude,
his
I was
voice,
like,
you
when
just
I
get
asked
into
him,
it.
1,000%. He belts those high notes with that. Also,
It's
think of
some
any
motion.
classic Goo Goo Dolls song, Iris especially. You're like, it's that fucking power ballad and that.
Yeah.
So when I was like, all right, what song, if he's down, should I have him do it on? And I was like, this one for sure. And then I was like, it's got to be a little break and write some parts where he can kind of like build up to that
Yeah.
fucking.
Did you know him beforehand?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
met him at I was doing Stern wrap-up show and they were in the lobby and I saw him and I was like, oh shit, went up and just made small talk and they were promoting an album and my buddy that was with me was like, did you ask him to do the podcast? And I was like, no. He's like, why not? I was like, oh yeah, good call. Went up, asked him. They had the album coming out. Manager and I started exchanging info. They came out and did it. Had a great time. So then we went to a few shows and kicked it. And then every time they were in LA, they were like, can we do the podcast again? So then we
Wow.
just really started becoming
So cool.
homies.
That's awesome.
And now, and so then I was, felt comfy enough to be like, fucking whatever. And he was like, so, because he loves, musicians,
They love it,
I mean, you
yeah.
can tell even Quaid, like, loving you. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's not their world. They're just like, so when he comes on, sometimes we'd have to stop him because he'd be asking so many comedy questions to Brad and I because he's like, what is it? But the two worlds are so similar.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was like, dude, I'd be honored to fucking be on it. And then he sent that and was like, is that cool? I can redo it. I'm like, nah, man. fucking,
Pretty
I'm
great,
about to
man.
ask for a take two,
That's amazing. Oh my
nice.
god! All right,
You guys are
awesome.
the best.
Thanks, dude, for
Can't
doing
wait.
it.
This is going to be the biggest new podcast.
Yes,
I can
it
already
is.
tell.
That's the hope.
No,
We're gonna
come
have
on.
you back a ton of times.
1,000%.
I can't wait until all the names that we share come. Like Booker comes back,
man.
you, Kevin McConnell.
They're gonna
comes
start
back to me,
commenting.
and we'll talk about that the next one to be like who came back and
They love it. Dude, the shout outs I've given people on podcasts,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes not in such a favorable manner. We're on a podcast and talked about how Caitlin Peck at Camp Rokyla pulled up her shirt because a bee went up it and her tits got exposed. And it was the first time everyone had seen boobs, probably except for the counselors. They were older. But she pulled up her shirt. It was like in one swoop. It was in the middle of the archery, all the activities, and a bee went up and she went, a bee! And then she just pulled her shirt off. If you scream a bee, everyone's first of all going to look for that bee
Bee,
because
yeah.
nobody wants to get stung. Little do we know that there were boobies to follow that bee. That bee call out. And so bee went up and she went, a bee! And shirt went off in one swoop. And all of a sudden it was just like, ah! I didn't scream. It was all more like, whoa! No! But so Caitlin Peck is her name and she's happily married and out there. But dude, that's a quick shout out.
Cool.
Bees
All right.
for boobies, Bobby Balloon the Head,
Dude,
Jello the Jiggler,
hashtag
and
Jiggler.
Booker.
Booker, the bathroom bully.
Thank you so much for listening to the newest cartoon on Adult Swim coming soon.
Coming 2020.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Love you guys.
Adam
Love
Ray.
it, man. Thank you.
All the way zip, we go all the way zip. All the way zip, we go all the way zip. All the way zip, we go all the way zip. All the way zip, we go all the way zip. Chilling with your friends on a Saturday, thinking about what to do. It's cold outside, so grab your coat and possibly a hat or two. You're comfortable and carefree, high-fiving it all the way. But hold on now, what time is it? Your boys got something to say. We go all the way zip. We go all the way zip. All the way zip. All the way zip. We go all the way zip. Gonna go all the way zip. We go all the way zip. All the way zip. We go all the way zip. No time to worry about the future. No the way zip.